We're not people who believe that we were born into original sin and that we are evil or that we are hurt or that we are injured or that we are somehow less than, that God made us deficient. That's not the Islamic belief. The Islamic belief is that God honored the children of Adam, the boys and girls. God honored humanity.
These are the largest religions around the world, and Islam is now shy from top 5. After Christianity, which makes up 2.22 billion people, Islam is the second largest religion with an estimate of 1.605 billion people worldwide. To learn more about this growing religion, WCTV visited the Islamic Society of Boston located in Cambridge to acquire about the cultures and traditions that go with being a Muslim. But before we go any further, let's get some definitions cleared. Just what does Islam and identifying oneself as a Muslim actually means?
So Islam literally translates to peace. It means submission to God and getting peace in the process. And that's the idea of Islam. A Muslim is one who submits to God, who attempts to submit to God. We all make mistakes, everybody has their off days, but the idea of a Muslim is someone who submits to God and tries to get peace in the process.
The Islamic religion isn't just a religion, but to those devoted Muslims, it is a comprehensive way of life.
This is a lifetime commitment. I can't just wear it one day and not wear it the next. You wear your hijab just not because the misconception like you're covering your hair, but you wear your hijab to be modest and it's your character as well. So it wouldn't make sense to just put a hijab on and have a really bad character.
And this is not a punishment.
It's not. We want to do this.
Okay.
When I wore it, it's because I wanted to. I wanted to do it for God. I mean, I lived here all my life, and when I did it, I accepted it 100%, and I did it when I was ready. Because, you know, you're supposed to start wearing it when you first hit puberty.
For men, the acceptable dress code is to cover the knees until the waist and the shoulder. The shoulders should be covered. That's the acceptable dress code for men.
The religion encourages 5 pillars: declaring your faith, praying, performing charity, fasting, and try to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. These 5 concepts are at the core of answers to achieving the ultimate salvation. The importance of prayer, which is axiomatic to the Islamic faith. Muslims are encouraged to pray at least 5 times a day. When praying, the postures corresponds to the words spoken.
All Muslims, when they pray, they face the Kaaba.
Okay.
And we're facing the first house of monotheism that Abraham, the father of all the prophets, built. And so there are certain postures that we have in the prayer. So the first one is standing. The second one is called ruku, or bowing. And when we're bowing, we're showing the top of our head to the Lord and only to the Lord. Muslims will only ever bow to one being, and that is God. And so that's the bowing. Mm-hmm. And this is the first sign of submission.
Okay.
Then we come to standing again, and we go down into a full-bodied prostration. With your face on the floor, with your hands on the ground, with your big toe on the ground, and with the entirety of your body pointing in that direction. And that is complete and utter submission.
A mosque is the house for worship. It is easy to identify a mosque because of its tessellation designs that are quite captivating. Like a cross is a symbol for church, a star inside a crescent moon is a symbol for a mosque.
In Islam, we don't generally use depictions. We don't use pictures of people or individuals. Mm-hmm. That's not in our spirit of artistic design. So the Arab and Muslim artists began taking simple shapes and repeating them to create intricate, beautiful designs. And the mosaic is made together of different pieces and different parts of the whole. So you see the stars, you see the sun, you see the moon, you see the moon as part of the logo.
The decorum of entering a mosque is first to remove your shoes.
First reason is the most important reason, because God commanded us to take off our shoes. So when Moses was communicating with God, you know, Moses was the one who spoke directly to God through the burning bush. God commanded, in the Quran it's written that God commanded Moses, you have entered the sacred valley of Tuwa, So take off your shoes and then you can communicate with me. The other reason is fairly simple. We make prostration onto the ground. We are putting our hold of our body on the carpet. We don't want to get dirt and those kinds of things on the carpet that we're prostrating on. People generally have cleaner socks and feet than they have on their shoes. Come on this way. So here is the upstairs area is for brothers and the downstairs area is for sisters and for the office team. So we're going to go upstairs into the brothers' musalla. And the musalla is the praying room.
One must cleanse before a prayer.
We have to be cleansed. And the Prophet asked a question. He said, if you washed in the river 5 times a day, do you believe you would be clean? And they said, by God, Prophet of God, of course, we'd be very clean. He said, so wash yourself 5 daily prayers to wash away the sins and so that you remain clean. But symbolically, we wash with water before we pray to wash us of the dirt on our body, and then we wash ourselves of the sins by praying. So
this is every time before you pray.
Every time before you pray, unless you already have your wudu. So if you've made wudu and you haven't broken it, the things that break wudu are urinating, defecating, I think vomiting, and that's an unusual one, and breaking winds or passing gas. Those are the things which invalidate your wudu. And so every time you do that, you make the wudu again. You start by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. You wash your hands 3 times, and then you gurgle water 3 times. Can you spit it out? And you clean your nose, so you inhale a little bit of the water, and you blow it out 3 times. And then you wash your face 3 times, the whole of your face. And one of the encouraged points is that you turn off the water in between each step so that we don't waste water. So that I usually just turn on the water, I pour it in, and then I turn it back off so that the water doesn't run. It's like when you're brushing your teeth. You shouldn't leave the water running, you know? So we wash our arms and we wash down 3 times, both sides. So usually your left hand will wash the right arm first, and then your right arm will wash the left arm. It's actually quite invigorating as well. It helps you to wake up. If you've been a little bit tired or drowsy in the middle of the day, it helps you to refreshen. So after your hands, you do your hair. Oh. So you wipe your hair, and then your ears, and then your feet, both feet. And some people put their feet in the tub like this. I generally don't because I splash, so I get myself wet. But it's a process that helps prepare your heart for what's about to happen. We're about to meet with the Master of the universe. So this is the prayer hall, and you'll see all of these carpets are strewn out in rows facing in this direction, and that's the centerpiece. This is called the mihrab. That's where the imam stands when he's leading the congregation, and everybody is facing this direction. And this direction is the direction of the Kaaba, the first house of monotheism that Abraham built. He broke all the idols that the polytheists used to worship, multiple gods, and he made it a sanctified house for the one God. Now what they're doing right now is they're setting up for the Ramadan. So this blue tarp is going to go into these corners, and we're going to have all of this spread out, and there's going to be little paper tables almost.
During the month of Ramadan, which is a sacred month, Muslims try to get nearest to Allah through fasting, sustaining from physical pleasures, and being kind to others. Because the Islamic religion is one that runs on moon calendar, the month of Ramadan doesn't always follow the same dates. Eerie. This year, the Muslims began fasting on May 27th and will continue to do so until June 24th. For the summer months like now, fasting could mean as far as 13 hours of no food or drinks, and as little as 5 to 7 hours if the month of Ramadan drops during the winter season. If you're not fasting, according to the Islamic religion, you are to offer food to one who doesn't have. Now, who is exempt from fasting?
The people who are exempt from fasting are women who are on their cycle.
Okay.
So when they're on your monthly cycle, you don't have to fast, and you can make up those fasts on another day of the year.
Okay.
Those who are on a journey, so if they're traveling long distances, you have the option to break your fast. You don't have to fast those days, and you can make them up another day. Some people have health conditions that makes it difficult to fast, but still possible. So if you have a condition where you can fast, but it's difficult, if you ever break your day, if you're sick, you don't have to fast.
Okay.
And so if you break your fast because you're sick, you're not punished for that. You're rewarded for that. You're rewarded for breaking the fast because your greater obligation is to take care of your health.
Also kids.
And kids who are younger than, kids who are not pubescent. If you've not reached puberty, then you don't have to fast. If you're encouraged to try and to learn, to get used to it, and some parents will have their kids fast until 12 o'clock, and then until 3 o'clock, and then until 5 o'clock, until finally the day that they reach puberty, step by step, to get them used to it.
So you don't just wake up one day and say, I'm
No,
going to
of
fast
course.
the
No,
whole
no.
So apart from pork, which is completely a no-no,
Right.
what foods are exempt during Ramadan?
The same foods that are permissible during the day are permissible during the rest of the year, are permissible during the night. But there are two big foods that are forbidden in Islam. One of them is pork, and one of them is alcohol. So people who like tiramisu, some tiramisu is cooked with rum. If you cook with alcohol, Muslims don't eat those foods. Intoxicants are absolutely prohibited, because we are not able to thankful and to be mindful of God when you're intoxicated.
What's the importance of dates? What's the significance of dates?
What's the significance of that? Actually, you mean the benefits of it, or like
Why do
we have it
Muslims?
during-
why do we have it? Well, it's kind of part of Sunnah. We follow the Sunnah of the Prophet.
The tradition.
It's kind of tradition of the Islamic faith. It's they break their fast on it, which is also the reason of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he used to do that because there is a lots of benefits after not eating for a long time.
30 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Let's count 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
It is now 8:20 p.m., time for Adhan, which is the calling to prayer. When doing so, the muezzin faces the Qibla, the direction to Kaaba in Mecca, while reciting Adhan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
While Adhan, everyone enjoys a simple snack, dates with a glass of milk or water. This is done so in order to invigorate the body before the main prayer.
What are the challenges, especially here in America? Any day is a work day,
Right.
right? It's not like there is
Right.
Friday just to go to the mosque, Sunday only to go to church. Any
Right.
day is a work day. So how do you manage staying true to your faith? You have to pray 5 times. You could be at work.
Yeah.
How does that go?
So I think for prayer, it's different. I think it really depends on what kind of a job you have. If you're working in more of a professional setting, really it's like a 5-minute prayer. It doesn't take very long. So usually if employees get a cigarette break, they get a bathroom break, a prayer break is no different. Most employers are comfortable with that. But there are many prejudiced and discriminatory employers. They can give you a very hard time, and we have social justice advocates. They're called CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. They defend and provide legal counsel for Muslims who are discriminated against.
During the prayer, the men stand shoulder to shoulder with each other. It is believed that through doing so, you're blocking the devil from getting through. When the prayer is over, everyone takes their seats, ready to receive their first proper meal of the day. Today, they are serving some chicken over rice with salad and pita bread to go with it.